Welcome to a mini haul and a review series of one of my absolute favorite series of all times. So before I open this particular box, I just wanted to talk a little about the series that I absolutely love. It's from Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout. Now this series took my heart. I wasn't expecting it to like it as much, but to my surprise, I absolutely fell in love with this series. So let's get started. The first one is from Blood and Ash, as you might know. Now, this particular series, the reason why I like it is primarily because of author's writing style. Jennifer Armentrout writes beautiful stories. The way she reveals the world slowly, the tension, the angst, the banter, everything about this series is top notch. uh, and to be honest, the spice actually took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting the series to be as spicy as it was, because what happens is, in a lot of books, when it turns into a very spicy series, it somewhere down the line it loses its plot. But no, this just added to it. The spice did not overpower the overarching story whatsoever. In fact, you fall in love with the characters so much that it's almost natural. You know what they do, when they do, where they do. Anyway, so here we get introduced to Poppy. Now I will try to describe how much I love the series without giving you actual spoilers. So yeah, we meet Poppy. We see the world through her eyes. We see a world where there are so many restrictions for her, but she doesn't question them in the beginning, at least. She's the maiden. She's not allowed to touch anyone. Nobody's allowed to see her face. She lives in a place where she feels truly alone, but she's fine with it. Poppy is a girl who is who is very curious, who wants to ask a lot of questions, but she's okay with how she is, at least for the time being. Then we also get introduced to Hawk, her new guard, and you would think that this is a sexy, bodyguard to princess kind of story, but no, this is an enemies to lovers story. This is a story that will have plot twists and surprises that you will not expect, or even if you do, they still take you by surprise. At least they took me by surprise, because I was so deeply involved in, so committed to the entire storyline. I was so lost in it that I kind of forgot to question the plot holes. I kind of forgot to notice the little hints and clues that the author dropped. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the surprises. Now, this particular book I did not like as much as the rest of the series, to be very honest, because Poppy and Hawk, they were great, but something felt missing, and that particular thing was covered in this book. Enters Castile. Uh, you will fall in love with Castile, even though initially you might hate him. Hawk and Castile, you can say, are sides of the same coin. If you know, for those of you who've read it, you know what I mean. For those who haven't, just go read it. You will, trust me, you will enjoy it. Now, from here onwards, the plot, oh my god, the plot builds. The Ascended, the Atlanteans, the way the story progresses, I was absolutely in love with the entire series. I could not put it down. To be quite honest with you, I finished these four books in perhaps a weekend, maybe. This one I haven't read it so far, because by the time you reach the fourth book, you realize that this is a story that has a very rich background of gods, of a story that happened centuries ago, and you want to read about it. You really do want to know what happens, what led to Poppy and Castile's story, how it truly began, where it all began. And that is where our of course, and the reading order that I am following is, I'm going to read I read the first four books, but before I pick up the fifth one, I wanted to read the prequel of the series, and that is where the book haul comes in. Now, this is what I ordered. It's the Flesh and Fire series. I am really excited about it. You have a flesh in the fire, you have a light in the flame, and you have a shadow in the ember. Now, the fourth one, Born of Blood and Ash, I already got with this particular set. I will share the details of where I got these books from, because I really like this website. You get really good quality books at very reasonable prices, and they have amazing combo deals. Obviously not sponsored, but because I love books, I really want to have a library of my own in my house, as you can see, kind of. So I want to collect a lot of books, but I do not want to spend 1500 2000 rupees per book. So I found a site that kind of gives you great deals. This also comes with you know two bookmarks, because I tend to dog ear my books and I'm trying to avoid it, so this was really great. So yeah, so this story actually happens 900 years before our main story starts, if I'm not wrong. Let me try to see if I can kind of show you uh, the entire series. But yeah, so this story is about the first maiden. There is not much known about it. Her name is not spoken. There are so many mysteries involved with what happened to her, with what happened 900 years ago. I almost feel, while reading the from Blood and Ash series, I felt that this series does not have a happy ending. There is so much angst. The gods are sleeping. We don't know what happened. Something truly terrible went wrong, and you kind of get the hint that not everything is right. So I really hope this has a happy ending for all our characters, because I'm a very happily ever after kind of a person. I don't like to read books, if I can help it, where the ending is just sad, devastating for people. So yeah, so this is the series that I'm very excited to read, and I will give you a full review, perhaps with spoilers, once I am done with the entire series. Also, I feel like the sixth book is coming out in a few months, so I'm anyway going to reread the whole thing. But I am so excited to finish this. I cannot wait for it. So yeah, that was my first mini haul and a review of the series that I absolutely loved. I don't know if I did a good job or not, because what happens when I read a book is I get completely lost in it. I forget to question the whys, the hows, the where, the when. It just plays in my mind. It's I even forget to, or I'm not conscious of the fact that I'm turning the pages. I don't know when I finish the book. It always catches me by surprise, because it's like a story going in my head. I don't know if that happens with you, but I would be curious to hear if that does, because it's very hard for me to talk about the finer details of a book after I've read it, because in my head I'm like, I just loved it, the vibe, the feeling it gave me, the characters, the banter, the plot, everything. But if you were to quiz me on it, I would fail that quiz. I Even though I have read it inside out and I loved every single word of the series, this would be over the the ACOTAR would come here. This series would come here. So, but I would still fail the quiz, man. So I wonder if that happens with you. You get so lost in the story that you forget to question anything and everything. But yeah, from Blood and Ash, Flesh and Fire. Please read it if you haven't already, and if you have, let me know your thoughts about this series. Please tell me if it ends on a cliffhanger, if it ends with a happy ending, if it ends with angst, because I do want to know, and I'm very excited to start this series. So that's it. Bye for now.